Creativity is all around us. If you just stop for a moment and look around you, you'll see nature expressing itself, from the dancing bees to the sound of the waves. So, it can only be true that we are innately creative beings as well. Hola amiga, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rosa, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my journey to rediscovering creativity. If you want to follow along with my other videos, I focus around self-discovery and acceptance, so definitely make sure to subscribe if you'd like to follow along. As a child, I was super creative. I particularly connected to music, and I absolutely loved to dance. I love to sing, so I was part of a choir. I used to dance competitively. In high school, I was also part of the musical theater club and drama club. So needless to say, creativity was something that was innate to me as a child and that I absolutely loved. As I got into my later teenage years, I slowly started to drift away from some of these creative skills and outlets that I had because my mindset really started to shift in that time to focus on academics, to focus on sports, and to focus on things that were more of like a guaranteed path to get me to a college and eventually a job that was going to pay well and that was going to be successful. Coming from an immigrant family that immigrated from Guatemala and escaped extreme poverty and sacrificed everything to come to the US and be able to give a much better life to our family, really created this mindset for me that demanded perfectionism and, more importantly, that demanded financial success. My new dream in life was to move to New York, work on Wall Street, and be successful. And I keep saying successful because this is, of course, by American capitalistic standards. It doesn't take into consideration your mental health, your emotional health, spiritual health. And my thought process was that by achieving that, I would be happy and everything would be okay. Not only did I want to be successful by these standards, but I also wanted to be able to care for my family financially. Growing up, I watched them work grueling hours for very low pay, never really taking a sick day or any type of vacation. Fast forward a number of years, I eventually found myself living in New York, working in the tech industry just right off Wall Street, which in some ways, I guess I was able to achieve my dream that I had as a teenager. Despite feeling like I had achieved my teenage dream, I felt so disconnected, so unhappy. I was working 50 plus hours and only living for the weekend. On top of that, I was traveling mostly for work. So the only thing I could do was basically eat, work, exercise, and then go out on the weekends to basically forget about it all. And, this really wasn't a way to live. And this lifestyle and this path continued for another 5 years or so until the pandemic hit and I decided to quit my job and take a leap of faith and decided to launch a fine jewelry company. And what happened during the pandemic was that I had no other option but to actually face what was going on. This is why I made a leap of faith to start a jewelry company. Fine jewelry was something that I was incredibly passionate about because I grew up around a lot of the women in my family wearing beautiful jewelry every single day. And I had so many ideas around design. So I decided to start a company where I could design my pieces, launch new collections, design basically photo shoots, design a website. And by starting a fine jewelry company, I basically made a complete 180 when it comes to work on a day-to-day basis. My day was now completely filled with design-focused and creative-focused tasks. So I was running things like our photo shoots, video shoots, putting together everything from the idea to the wardrobe, the styling, to the execution, to the finishing touches and selecting the images. Not only that, of course, putting pen to paper and being able to come up with ideas for beautiful jewelry designs. So needless to say, my entire life was flipped upside down. And through this experience, I found out what a creative person I am and how much that fed me. My entire adult life, I had completely shut off my creativity and my ability to express myself through creative outlets, I basically reprimanded that side of me and tried to completely shove it off because I thought it was a waste of time. As an immigrant, I only wanted to follow these like proven and safe paths that would allow me to be successful and have financial freedom. This was a huge lesson in discovering who my authentic self is, and something that was very, very difficult for me to learn, and unfortunately had to take so many years of my life in order to get to a point where I could receive that message and also be more open and not judging towards who I truly am. So at the end of last year, I had to shut down my business, and that being said, I was left with this innate desire to continue creating and continue expressing myself. I actually started to have this insane draw to furniture and to wood. So I decided to start a new project and taking it really simple and easy because I had absolutely no knowledge when it came to furniture, refinishing furniture, or building any type of furniture. I absolutely had zero knowledge. And what led me to that was actually watching a lot of YouTubers. And for some reason, it just kept calling me. And I was like blown away by going from zero to something. And I decided to take on my first project at the end of last year, which was just this like antique table that I found. I basically refinished that table, and in doing so, I felt so accomplished, and it was completely new. And it was super exciting to me. Eventually, that led me to wanting to continue to learn more about it, and I decided to take a woodworking class just to get confident with using the tools and having more of a knowledge with how wood works, because it is this whole new industry and material that I had never even had any remote idea from. But surprisingly, there's a lot of information on the internet, and taking this 1-day class really helped me just get some confidence under my belt. And little by little, I started investing into tools, and then I started coming up with really simple ideas to start working on my first project. So I took it really easily, and now I'm currently on my third project, which is building basically bathroom storage with drawers and shelving in it. And still pretty simple, but now I've actually had the experience of cutting wood, sanding wood, measuring, designing, painting, and all that fun stuff. So little by little, I've had to build some of the confidence around it. But what I love most about this is the ability to be a student. And there's something that is so humbling when you are learning a new creative skill. And the second skill that I've been working on is learning to play the guitar. Like I said, as a child, I love music. I connected with music so much. So I wanted to learn to play an instrument. It was something that I never got a chance to do. So I've been learning how to play the guitar. That honestly has been immensely challenging. I came into it being like, I've got a good ear for music. I probably can learn this relatively quickly. And let me tell you, I was instantly humbled with that. Everything from learning how to hold chords. I no longer get my nails done because I'm learning how to play the guitar, to, strumming patterns and following beats, etc. All of that has been immensely challenging. But after working on it for a handful of months, I actually started to join a jam band, and the first couple of months were pretty challenging and really hard. But I specifically remember we were playing Ventura Highway, and this is probably my third month and the third song I was learning with the jam group. And I experienced the most beautiful connection to creating music. This was the first time I could play without, being so tense and just trying to keep up. And I could just flow with the music and playing the guitar. And it was the most beautiful, insane experience that I had felt in being able to create music, especially with other people. So in summary, it's been a long road to reconnecting to my innate creative self. I definitely think that everyone has a creative side to them. It's just a matter of working at it. Like everything else, going to the gym, building your fitness, it does take time. It has to take some discipline to continue showing up and trying even when it's hard and you suck at it and you're bad at it and you make mistakes, and being okay with not being perfect right off the bat and really being good at it all is so rewarding. And on the other side, you'll have a way to express those things that we can't sometimes get out through words or through communication, that we can only display through the use of some art form. I hope that you can take something away from this and learn from my experience, or maybe just re-inspire you to pick up that sketchbook, or maybe pick up that dusty piano and get back into your creative practices. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is a topic that I hold very closely and that's super important to me. I'd also love to hear from you guys. So if you want to share a little bit about your experience, maybe some similarities, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe in order to get updates and follow along my journey of self-discovery and acceptance. And thank you so much again. Adios.